Hello and good morning everyone. Today is going to be an interesting adventure. We're going to do the California Challenge. We're going to go from the highest points of California to the lowest points of California. So you're definitely going to want to come for this adventure. And we're going to see what kind of environments you can experience all in one day here in California. It is 6:38 in the morning and the sun is rising. And we're going to do what I call the California Challenge here and see what we can find for today. It's a beautiful morning. I can see a jet flying overhead. That's pretty cool. There's actually two. There's one there and then there's one over there. Riding into the morning there. Here at Snow Valley, and it says the lift tickets are $49. Looking at the mountains, there's not much snow. My guess is this all man-made snow. They have these big like sprinkler fan systems. You can see one of them over there, and over there, those are what they use to make the snow with. And there are a few skiers. Looks very compact. It looks like the snow's been groomed, like it's been like combed down. So yeah, it definitely looks like man-made snow. Only a few of the runs are actually open today. Very interesting. Lounge in here, but not many people are in the lounge today since it's a Friday morning with a nice big fireplace over there. But I think we're gonna be on our way back down. Okay, we have seen the snow. We didn't pay for the lift ticket, so we just visited. Not much if you're gonna actually not ski, but I think we're gonna go down the hill and go for the next environment. Well, we have left the high mountains. We were up in those high mountains, the San Bernardino Mountains, and now we're down in the tumbling tumbleweeds. It's a little bit windy. I thought I was gonna be in my jacket down here in the desert, but it's windy. If I turn my camera around, you can see the iconic windmills here, and we are in Cabazon, California. And Cabazon, California is known for the Cabazon dinosaurs. Yes, we are next to the Cabazon dinosaurs in Cabazon, California. These two dinosaurs, the Brontosaurus and the T-Rex, have been shown in multiple movies. The Wizard, it's been shown in the Tears for Fears music video. And probably most famous for Peewee Herman's Big Adventure. And then over there, where it has the Wheelhouse Inn restaurant sign, that is of course where large Marge was. But the building has been torn down, so now all we have is the two dinosaurs which still remain. These dinosaurs have been here for a long time. The T-Rex, it's a little park. You can pay like $15 to get in, and they talk all about dinosaurs. That T-Rex actually was initially going to be a slide that you can still walk up into the T-Rex, but you can't slide down. You slide down the tail. And then over here in the Brontosaurus, this is a gift shop that we can walk into. So let's check it out. It's the Cabazon Dinosaur Gift Shop. It says here it's called Diney's Gift Shop, and we're gonna go check it out. You can walk up into the dinosaur. This is where in the movie The Wizard, the kid hangs out and he hides up inside here. Here it talks about some history. It was built by Claude Bell, it says here. Let's see what it says here. Sign this the dinosaur, an Apatosaurus, not a Brontosaurus, was built in 1964 by Claude Bell, who's the same sculptor of many of the sculptures at Knott's Berry Farm. And it was built as kind of a homage to the idea of evolution, which he had this fascination for dinosaurs, and we can still see that in the building today. We can see different caveman sculptures up at the top here. Okay. There you go. Susie, the trained chimpanzee. And then...
And I believe these are all just like...
Yeah, just different times. They're so cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful work of art for sure.
I remember for a while a church owned these buildings, right?
I'm not too sure.
Because I remember coming into this building and they had a bunch of Bible verses.
Oh.
Yeah, in this. And then well, that was a fun visit inside Diney the dinosaur. This goes out to the tail, of course. And then you can go see the Wheelhouse Inn, what the remains of the Wheelhouse Inn. I remember that back in the day. They used to have really good pie. I'm sad that it got torn down, but too many urban explorers were trespassing in there. And so it got to be dangerous. And the reality is, most people just stay here for the dinosaurs. They don't stay here for the restaurants. You can see Jack in the Box was here for a while and they closed down, and then Castaneda's is over here, but they don't really serve anything. So it's really hard to keep a business. But we'll find some food somewhere along the way, I'm sure. One tip if you are near the Cabazon dinosaurs is I am in the parking lot right now of Morongo Casino. Cheapest gas in probably all of California at $3.59. So if you need some cheap gas, come to the casino. I guess depending on how it goes, it could be the cheapest gas that you buy in California or the most expensive gas you buy in California. You'll have to decide on that. But for me, it's a nice cheap stop. They have good, clean restrooms. And so it's a quick stop on the way back from the desert.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
We are in Seal Beach, and I noticed that it's hard to find parking here. It says 2 hours max, so we're going to try to find something to do here in 2 hours. Otherwise, we'll get cited, and I don't want to do that. So I'm sure we'll find something to do. And then go from the library here. So we're going to check to see if we get a library card. That might be fun. For the library card idea, they weren't open. So we'll just continue to walk along and see what we can find here in Seal Beach. Here in California, there's just all sorts of environments. It is about 12:30 right now. And so we're also going to be looking for something to eat. Maybe we can find something iconic to eat here in Seal Beach that's typically Californian. It's kind of funny to me that the library wouldn't be open at 12:30, but what do I know? They have a little caboose here, Pacific Electric. Reminds me of the cable cars that we have in Paris, California. I'm part of the Paris Railway Museum. Well, check it out. This would have been probably the end of the line for the red car. We'll see what we can see from the stand. Not open, but not much to see. Looks like a mail car. This would have been electric railway mail car bringing the mail to Seal Beach here. Looks to me from maybe the late 1800s. Very interesting. Here says this is Pacific Electric red car number 1734 from 1902. So I was pretty close. Late 1800s. Actually, it was 1902 is when this red car was built. And it was bringing tourists and mail here to Seal Beach. So I was right. This is a passenger and mail red car. Of course, now cars bring people to Seal Beach. Very nice, historic downtown area here. Looks very 60s-ish to me. Got a lot of coffee shops and a lot of tea shops. Nice place to walk around. All the parking spots are filled up, that's for sure. Lots of interesting places. A lot of it Irish influence here. See a lot of Irish. There's Hennessy's, and then over there is O'Malley's. So that's kind of interesting to see that influence going on. Art gallery. We have a bunch of Disneyland posters here. I think that's pretty cool. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Disneyland Date Night, Tomorrowland with the old Mark 1 monorail, the Matterhorn, Alice in Wonderland, Pirates of the Caribbean. You have some fun stuff. You have Hawaiian shaved ice, corn dogs, and burritos. Seems very typical for an Orange County town. We'll see what the burritos are like. Lots of good specials there. Go ahead and get a classic California cuisine, that of being a California burrito. Guacamole, carne asada, and potatoes. Well, actually fries. That's how we do it. And a chunky taco, chunky beef taco. That's the way it goes in California. That was a really good burrito. Shout out to El Burrito Mexican food right there on the beach. That was really, really good. Really enjoyed that. Well, it looks like we made it from the snowy mountains down to the Pacific Ocean. We're now on the Seal Beach Pier. It's been quite an adventure, so I think we can go walk down this pier and see what's down the pier. And of course, if we touch the snow, we got to touch the water, so we'll do that. Temperature's a lot different than up in the mountains. Up in the mountains, it was about 45 degrees, and down here, it's about 85 degrees. But both places are beautiful, clear. It's so clear today, I can see out to Catalina Island. So that's pretty cool. That shows you how clear it is today. That you can see out to Catalina Island. You usually can't see that far. That's interesting. If I zoom in over there, I can see the dome. That's the dome of the Carnival Port over there. So that's interesting. From here, from Seal Beach, I can see very clearly over to the dome from Long Beach, and I can see the convention center of Long Beach over there. Such a beautiful day today. Still on the pier here, I can see a tugboat. I don't know what tugboat's doing so close to the land, but it looks like it's going to go out and help one of one of those tankers out there. The swells aren't that really big. Surfers aren't catching many waves today, but it's still a beautiful day. Like I said, as I walk towards the end of the pier here, I can see all the way to Catalina Island really clearly. There's a warning on certain fish. It says here that you should not eat white croaker, topsmelt barracuda, Baird's sand bass, or black croaker. Probably too much mercury in the fish these days. Kind of interesting. I didn't think they could actually take a ship here, but they do have a ship dock for bigger ships. So I guess one ship at least could pull out here and unload passengers. So that's very interesting. Looks like the waves are starting to pick up a little bit. I think some teenagers are playing hooky today in the waves, but who can blame them? It's such a nice day today. Tide is really low. We'll see how far we can go without sinking in. The point is to touch the water, but not fall into the water. But it's kind of tricky when the tide is this low. But we'll see what we can do. We're watching. I don't want that. But it is interesting. You can see clams in the water here. It's really low tide today. Well, I can see I'm making puddles here, so I think that's good. I just touched the water. You can see it coming off of my hands there. And so I can officially say we went from snow to water here at Seal Beach in Southern California. That's the California Challenge right there. I like to talk about traveling, but the reality of the situation is I live in California, and so I'm lucky that I can travel just within California, which helps on the budget. I know a lot of people like to diss California, but the truth is here in California we have so much to offer. I don't know where else in the world can you go from mountains with pine trees to the desert and to the sand all in one day. Only here in California. Looking at the houses here, I don't even want to think how expensive these houses are. We're only 2 blocks from the beach. My guess is it's very, very expensive. So, yeah, I doubt I'll be going anytime soon. Now, I think it's time to leave Seal Beach But I enjoyed my time a lot. It's a beautiful town. Didn't spend much time here, but as part of the challenge, it totally counts. And this was our California challenge, from the snow to the beach. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.